You're live. Okay, so now we're going to focus on our attacking play. And really what I'd like you to look at a bit more is just from the immediate time we win the ball, where can we be in support angles? And also, do we have a rhythm to our attacking play? So again, I like that we're looking to attack with pace when we win the ball. We immediately look to get forward, and in the position we can see here, we've stayed high to provide as deep an option as their defense allows us to take. And that's an important thing. If they have a center back who is staying way back into this space here, it's important that we do step up high into that space, making it 1v1 and pulling their whole defense back as far as they'll go. This will give us more opportunity to possess in this space with less pressure from defense. Here, it allows us for a 1v1 breakaway opportunity, which is extremely well finished. Okay, so we have the ball right here. Now let's look at how many touches each of us take, and every time somebody gets the ball, look to see how many options he has. So here, this could be an option if he holds his run and gives a proper angle. He's getting into a space where he's an option, not quite there, and what we'd like to do is have our support positions be there on the one touch, which means to allow each other to play one touch. And this person really isn't in a position, although he is providing width, which is acceptable. A good number of touches. Now we're in pressure. Now the ball comes to him. What angles of support did he have? He wasn't really an option because he just played it. He's behind two defenders. He's marked well, maybe right here. So what we need to see is as he's dribbling across the field and we see it's likely going to go this way, can we start to get into spaces to provide him another option? Can we start to get into spaces to give him another option? So it's not this force ball. And then we just need to work on comfort when we receive this ball and making sure we're playing to a person, not just kicking it up forward. Now you tell me if you think this player could play this ball one touch. The second touch he takes allows this defender to come forward more and allows him to recover a bit more and for him to be two steps closer. If we can do it in one touch, please do it in one touch. This gives each of us more time and space on the ball when we get it, which will allow us to make the defense have to play in a more worried position. Let the passing do the work, guys. So we win the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, all within 5 yards of each other. Looky here. Can we get this ball immediately into the space here? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players in this space right here. So that is the cue. Immediately when we win it, count those numbers, see where we can move that ball, and that will get us into open spaces. Keep on going up this one space. We need to use the whole width. We still look at the numbers here. It's still tough. They have 8 guys right into this space. So, who's an option for him? So we can see when the ball's going there. So before he receives it, we probably know about a second before he receives it. So the question is, what do you want to do with that second? And what you need to be thinking of, where can we spread out the defense, get into a support position to where we can create something more dangerous? Here, I wonder, might this person be able to get into advance a bit more? So as the ball's coming, maybe by getting in advance a bit more, he pulls this defender with him. At the same point, if he gets into advance up here, he draws the attention of one of these two backs. By doing this, now he frees up this whole space for this player. So the ball comes in, he gets in advance, pulling this defender, and sometimes you're not the primary option, so if he goes with you and defends well, you won't get the ball. But he could, in a real dangerous space. So we pull him up into this space, get the attention of the center backs, get their attention away from our guy here, who gets into this space, should be about 3 or 4 steps further up here, and as this ball's coming in, getting into that space. So we pull him, we can slot it for a shot right here, or as we receive it, we play it back to him, get the ball in return, and we can go ourselves. Now let's look at our options. This is an option, that's not quite an option. So get a couple feet this way. Show them you want the ball. Define it with your body shape and your movement. Get into this space urgently. Get wider. Give them the width. Pull that space open for this player. This guy will be more worried about him. You'll pull him out here. Even if it goes to him, he'll step a bit. Then you can go baseline behind him. But let's get into these possessions on the one touch. So he has it, and we can keep that defense moving constantly. As we look to build here, we don't have too many options. I'm really wondering what that run is, because it really makes me think he's a fullback in football and he's a blocker, okay? This does not belong in the sport of soccer, so let's make sure none of us are doing this in the season. All right, we need to get spacing to move defenders to create opportunities and gaps to attack here. Okay, so this run, I would rather it be over here or in between here, pulling this guy back and getting the attention of this center back, which then frees up this run a bit more. We have these guys all too far back, and our width is not high enough. So we need to get pressure up into this space, and at least one of these guys needs to get into this space up here to be an option. This ball will go into Zach up into this space. If somebody is right here, now one of the defenders will have to step, and it's going to take them time to do so. With one of us stepping into this space in addition, with this player stepping high, that ball, if done on a one-touch in here and a one-touch into this space here, now it's a 2v1 against this back, maybe with the center back stepping over, which then would allow for a pass back to him moving right into the penalty spot. In this circumstance, I'm okay with the shot because we didn't have options, so we need to keep them being aware of the shot. Okay, so let's look at our positions. See if we can get this ball going forward, getting in advance. So finding ways to get it behind these players and to penetrate their backs. Can we get it here? Earlier, with less touches. Get it in. Now these two are useless because we're playing behind them. So, okay, great. Now we're attacking 9. Now let's look at this line. Can we find space behind this line to negate 3 other defenders? That's how we wanted to look at our attack. Okay. What would have happened if this player had seen the space here? So when he receives it, his body is faced the small part of the field, not the big part of the field. And when we're in the attack, and our midfielders need to always look to receive the ball, seeing as much of the field as possible. If when this ball gets played up, instead of looking constantly this way, he were aware of this runner right here, that creates a very different attacking opportunity and a much more dangerous opportunity coming straight at the goal, unmarked. They were able to stay organized because they knew we liked to go to the flank. Okay, good turn. Now we're looking up. Good. See this defender? He's unable to defend because he has to be aware of you. This player got pulled over a little bit because of this movement as well, which creates that gap. That's a good gap to attack. Particularly if this player gets into attack into this space, and this player is able to get up in the attack as well. Now we're looking at a pretty decent number situation for us as we go forward. The timing of that is perfect. When we receive the ball, we're back with their defenders, keeping them as far back as we can, getting our hips turned and getting our legs moving so as soon as we win it, we can get into the attack. That run, that little curling run, where it gets his momentum and his pace going forward, is what enables this whole play to happen. Because he's going forward and they were still flat-footed. So it gives us the advantage. Okay, overall, we have an option here, we have an option here, and the cutter pass right into the middle would be deadly on that team right here because it would bypass all these 3 guys. So we have 3 options, which I'm happy with. So we play it as far out on the field as humanly possible. Okay? If we're going to play a ball there, it's got to be to feet. But I don't want us constantly going to the corner flags, creating the situation where it has to be a cross and they can all bunker in, and now it's predictable. See if we can play his feet. See if we can continue these quality space runs after that. But we need variation, not just the corner. We need to attack the space here more often. So we've won it. Now we're building. Now we play to the corner. Okay? We have to change the point of attack. We really need to make sure we don't get into this habit of making ourselves predictable to allow a defense to stay in the positions they want to stay in. Are they in good position here? They had a person who got beat who's still recovering. They have a person in support. This person's doing a bad job of getting goal side, but then they have backside cover. So they're still in okay position other than this one guy right here. Okay, so if we look, would rather see your front side than your back side. Maybe if we can make sure we stay in option, be in option a little bit more over here. And then let's get in advance a little bit more. But we don't force the issue. Make a good choice. Okay, we don't have something, let's see what we got. They're shifting, we play it back here. Now let's see what our options are. Can we get higher up here? Can we get into the space? Don't get closer than this where this arrow is right there. I don't want you getting too close. And then can we just drift a little bit more into that space and get your hips open when you receive the ball? 2 touch could have been 1 touch. A nice turn. Some decent runs there. Just unfortunate we didn't get the shot off. When you get the ball in this situation, I want you thinking, not just what's going to happen when you pass it, but what should happen when the person you pass it to receives it. So if we're looking to set up attack, it's not just A to B. I want person A thinking of B to C or B to C. We need to think 2 steps ahead to make sure that we're planning something in attack, not just playing a terminal pass, a terminal pass, a terminal pass, and not thinking of what might happen from it. So when we played that into this guy, do the numbers count. Took a few too many touches. By the time we played in, we have 4 guys immediately there and 2 guys in close quarters. Looky here. Use this space. So we win the ball. Are we in positions to get it? Right now he doesn't have too many options. So can we do a better job of giving him options quickly? Okay, we got one here. Drift a bit into this space. Don't just stand right there. Get into this space so when he passes it to you, you're on the run as opposed to receiving it 3 yards from him and these defenders being able to stay in their positions. Then we need to be talking to him over here, making sure we're stepping up into this space and letting him know he has us if we want to. And we certainly need somebody again in this space, letting us open up their defense. See, that 3-foot pass doesn't do anything. It's just made it easier for defenders. So that spacing of those midfielders is absolutely key. Be 10 yards apart and now the defense has to run. Look at our movement here. Tell me, what do you think is going on? How much are we moving overall as a group? He's moving a bit. He's moving very slightly. They're having a picnic. Not too much happening for him on the ball here. Can we get into this space here? Can we pull this defender up with you to allow him to get backside? If he doesn't go with you, then we have the ball right here. And then we attack 3v2, 1, 2, 3 versus these two defenders. That's a deadly ball right there if we just make sure that it's an opportunity for us. If that isn't, can we look like we want the ball here? So maybe it goes from this player to here. If that run gets closed down right there, then what we can do is we can check into the space right like this. So this player, if he got the ball, would then be able to play over into this space, and then there'd probably be a far side runner right off that for a one-touch sort of little ball through to create danger over there. See what we can do with our runs in collaboration with each other. So our wide player is pinching in. Every other player is on the near side of the center circle, which means that we're all within about 20 yards of width here on the field. Pull him a bit further out, allow him to get up into that space. Now we need other midfielders coming into this space to provide options. If you recognize, because we ran in when we did get the ball to him, all the defense was in proper position because we brought them together. We did that for them. They didn't even know what they were doing. So these are key. When we're looking to attack, we have to be in our support positions on the one touch. So as it comes to a player, he's got to have 3 one-touch options. Every single time we get the ball, we need 3 one-touch options. Multiple support positions. Every single time. We need to immediately change the point of attack. Once we've sucked in a few defenders, read the number situation. If they have too many numbers, we move the ball. Constantly make them run and chase. Make them get tired throughout the game. And the last thing, this word right there. This ball is precious. Do not give it away so easily. The soccer ball should be the equivalent of a diamond ring to a girl. Do not give the ball away. Be confident. Hold it. Have patience. Keep this ball.